following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
Oh, it is the one leaving. Usually comes up when restoration work was being done in the cemetery. No one knew what had been originally inscribed there, so they tried to clean it up a little bit. So it is that one.
Yes, the faceplate basically seems to be held on to the cenotaph, I guess you call it. Whereby those knob screw things, maybe?
Oh, okay. Oh. Well, do they turn? Screw maybe. Unscrew?
Straight kick.
Natural 20.
You turn all of them. They seem to turn about a quarter of the way and then click into place. As you do the last one, the faceplate sort of like loosens off a bit and then swings open as you pull it on a hinge, revealing an empty box instead of a solid pillar and a ladder leading down.
More underground. Awesome. Well, go down the ladder.
Goes down the ladder.
Of course I go down the ladder. Still haven't found anything.
You go down the ladder for what seems like an age, but was actually just under a minute. It comes out
Find
into a
one of these
small
ladders.
cabin room made of wood. A single sickly green glow comes from an oil lantern sitting on a table. A game of cards has been laid out like none you recognize. You walk over to the table, interested by the lantern's ability to let you see. And you see two rows of cards laid out, opposing each other. There appears to be crudely drawn cards cut out by hand.
What do they seem to depict?
One has the snarling visage of a wolf on it, another a squirrel, and then beside that some kind of sleepy-eyed stoat. On the other side of the table there appears to be a bear and a rock.
This is mysterious. Anything written on them?
Yes. Wolf. Stoat.
Describing the
Squirrel.
worlds. I revel through the cards for anything stands out beyond like a rock or a natural creature. Strange. I'll pick up the little lantern and use it to sort of investigate the rest of the room and see what else I can find on or
A thin
around the
stream
table.
of smoke wafts out behind it as you move it around. The table on the far wall beside the door has a number of small figures on it, depicting a hunter, a fisherman, some kind of trapper maybe, a soldier, a blank person shape. There is a wooden carving of a lattice work, and within it you can see there is a knife held in place by the wooden lattice. There is a door between those two things. There is a clock on the far wall, but it doesn't seem to actually be working at all.
Does it have two hands?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a discarded hat in the corner of the room.
A familiar hat? The green rim?
No.
Okay.
It is a derby.
I
A
will
writing desk sits beneath the hat.
Well, I will pick up the hat and check underneath it.
Okay.
Maybe Hat Boy was running out of his usual things. And also a writing desk.
Ah, fascinating. Well, while I'm going to get your discovery together, we will cut back to one of you two, don't care which.
Depends how long you're unconscious. And how long I'm wandering. Can you just roll for it? Got 5.
9.
It's you.
Me.
Bomb. Alright, bomb!
Okay, what are you doing? You come to the light. There's a door with a small gap in it.
Do I like
Oh, yes. You're being carried.
by?
Who else?
Jim, what happened?
You started going crazy banana muffin, and I had to punch you. Quite hard.
What do you mean I was going crazy?
Well, you just sort of stopped walking for about an hour, staring off into space, mumbling, and then you said, "Oh, yes, all I have to do is kill Roxanne, and then everyone will have to like me." So I punched you quite hard.
I'm sorry,
Don't apologise to me, it was easy.
I don't feel that way now. Where are we going?
Well, we were heading towards this door, even though, probably should have taken us a lot less time to get here, but you did insist on staring off into space for like an hour.
I didn't. It wasn't an hour.
Yes, it was.
I didn't know. It felt like it was. I didn't stop moving until I got stopped moving. You want me to walk myself, or?
You can, but no more mutinous murder plots.
I would like to promise you not, but things are strange happening, but I'm glad that it doesn't affect you.
I wouldn't say that necessarily.
What do you mean?
Well, every time I have to tap into that, it makes it a bit easier for it to take control.
Okay.
Kind of not.
No, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. But we're here.
Yep. Now, I guess all I have to do is pick this lock if you'll stand guard.
Yep.
So on the other side of the door, you found this.
The lighthouse. Oh, I see what I've done. Within the old church in Innsmouth, we get a nice little church. The lighthouse on the hill. Not entirely sure. The Scylla. All to the island, to Darkwater. So that's where our dream was. Brooding Bradford Manor, Darkwater. Certainly brooding. Within the manor, the study untouched by time. Many seats at a table. The excavation of the caverns, a stone and ruins. And there are indeed some runes carved on a stone. And one of the Bradfords, I think. 2 Bradfords. Under the island. Some kind of cave or cavern or mine. A vast mine network. It's one of the Bradford. Or someone in it, I should say. Found you at last. Oh, I don't like the next one. But found you at last. And it's a skull. And then there's this one. Just labelled 1. And it may or may not be some kind of humanoid monster with claws and tentacles coming out of its back or from behind it, out of the darkness. fleeing the island, and the only thing I can really make out is a mass of octopus-like tentacles coming up from behind what might be a rock, or a building, or a boat. That's horrific. The scary ones are at the top. I have just received my first report on the students. The corpses are indeed rising again, but they don't seem very hungry for human flesh. In fact, they seem to avoid it. Also, they show no interest in doing anything that would help me in my research into reanimation. Try talking to them, they don't answer. They don't seem to hear or see me. I've also noticed that they're all bending over a little and dragging one leg when they walk. I think the bodies might be decaying faster than normal. The stench is awful, but my superiors won't allow me to do an autopsy. This was not the result I expected. I had hoped that the bodies would be animated by some sort of external force and that therefore would not eat normal human food. But apparently I was wrong. On the other hand, if they do start feeding on flesh from outside sources, it will be a lot easier to dispose of them. I'm also starting to think that this might not be a good thing to let out into the world. The university has a reputation for weirdness, but we are still an educational institution with a reputation to uphold. If these corpses start roaming around trying to kill people, what will that do to our admissions? I get the feeling that might be Edward's writings. Miskatonic University crime scene. Evidence. The victims were found in the library. There were claw marks on the wall and floor and what appeared to be human bite marks on the bodies. The bite marks didn't match any of the victims' dental records. Tentative conclusion, we have a carnivorous animal in the library. Ooh. Mark Abbott Bradford's things shine a light on something deeply wrong that I think killed him. Whatever he found is lost. I don't make that mistake. My notes are stashed all over. Entrusted and hidden. I have written as much out twice as I can. If the same thing happens to me, tell Ish, or Ash, I love her. James was the key. An old tombstone with a foreign language wrote upon it, and with no body within the ground. Too many oddities. And how I was not supposed to find anything. How I was not supposed to find anything. Missing files, lost maps, strange fires. I may be a fool, but I am not so blind. Ash tells me not to go. She gets mad. But I have to go. It's the art, you see. I think Mike saw the same thing. Old Anna saw out east. I think he saw it. She put it to canvas, he went just as mad. But couldn't put it out of him. It has to be something to do with Anna Bradford. Last Will and Testament of James Bradford. Dearest friends, family and court officials, in the event that you are reading this, I have departed this mortal coil for the last time. Do not despair. I only hope that I died as I lived and that you will remember me. I wish to be interred in a modest grave, preferably beneath the sea where I feel most at home. The location is not particularly important, but I prefer it to be close to my favourite city, Innsmouth. No, please do not bury me upside down. It is uncomfortable. I would like a small headstone that simply reads... pronouncing this is going to be interesting. Cthulhu Relay Fatan. I fucking butchered about the middle of that. And no obelisks or other phallic symbols. No need to waste good money on those, as I have already erected several monoliths throughout my kingdom, and you are welcome to take them if you find them inconvenient. You may also wish to place some sort of marker at the site of my death. I understand that this will most likely lead to your destruction and the destruction of any nearby city, but it is your decision entirely. One final note on death, please do not cry out in mourning at my burial site. I am dead and thus can no longer hear you, which means all your crying out has been for nothing and you just look silly. June 5th, 1813, the signature of the deceased, and the signature of the witness, a Reverend Enoch Douglas. Interesting. And horrific. And one last thing, in the Arkham Sanitarium. Derby Street, Arkham, Massachusetts. Detective Bradford. Regarding your inquiry into the condition of Charles Dexter Ward, we would of course normally be most pleased to discuss the modern treatments we undertake with our patients here. However, Mr. Ward is still too dangerous to himself to allow an unattended interview. If you wish, a supervised interview could be arranged, but you must agree to the terms I set forth herein. That you shall not bring any cameras or recording equipment which might cause Mr. Ward disturbance. You do not ask about his family. That you come away immediately that you are instructed to. If you can agree to those conditions, then I shall have no reservation recommending the sanitarium agree to a meeting. Dr. Amadeus Jameson.
From the other side of the door you hear a muttering. Clearly some kind of evil religious chant. Here like... What? Yeah, you can't make it out. There's so much dust and cobweb in the gap, you can't see. Whoever's beyond the door must be part of this evil Bradford cult. Jen's like, got it.
You would take her out.
Hearing the door open, I assume?
The door flies open. Suddenly a bright light shines forth, and you hear like,
What the hell? And I'm waving the gun around.
there's a figure there, covered in filth and dripping wet mud. A weapon, muzzle comes towards you. You hurl your light dagger right at it. Roll your attack.
It's not as good as it could be. Uh, 19.
That's enough.
Okay, what's your damage rank?
My dagger is plus 11.
Is it better if I choose to fail?
Yes. 11 plus 15. 26.
Ooh, no. 16. So I failed
That's
by
2 degrees. You've
degrees.
taken a damage. You are stunned. Your rusting, decaying gun falls from your grip as you were stunned by that shot. The light dagger sticking into your chest hurts like buggery,
Oh, what the hell?
says Derek. Jennifer is just like, do you want to kill all of our friends, or is it just Derek
just
and
give me a
Roxanne?
second. Pull dagger out. Stab him again.
With
The healing light.
There we go.
Sorry, got confused there.
Oh, Christ.
Roll your healing, or tell me what the rank of that is. Actually, just tell me the rank.
Actually, yeah, I do. Unless those other wounds
5.
disappeared.
Okay, well, recover 5 points of damage.
Oh, that's
Do
exactly
not
what I
exceed
said.
your maximum.
Back to fresh. Good to see you guys. Sorry, but what the... I'll now examine the state of the gun.
Worm-eaten, rusting and decaying. Your gun has been a discarded and destroyed relic of 100 years. No part of it is salvageable.
No.
What did he just drop?
It was once a gun.
That was new. Well, I don't know about new, but...
I thought you were on the hill.
I was. This is under the hill.
It was a very long tunnel.
It's a long time.
Yeah?
How long have we been walking for?
Like an hour. Maybe 2. And then you just started staring at a wall.
Sorry.
So you've had some weird things happen too.
Yes.
maybe time related. If you don't know how long it took you to walk here. I crawled around in another tunnel for a wee bit. Felt like
It looks like you were crawling through graves.
Felt like 5 or 10 minutes maybe. Fought and killed something that looked like someone I know and then looked like me. And when I came out, must have been 5 hours had passed. Roughly. And I have no way to explain any of it.
We've been in a house. This basement. And we came down and we chose this path towards the light end.
Well, you're currently underneath James Bradford's grave. Twisted some nipple-looking thingamajiggies and found a ladder down here. And then I found all this stuff. Which
Okay.
now I'm glad to be not to be the only person who's fucking horrified by it.
Oh, we've got stuff as well, but
I want to see it.
Yeah, we chased Claire off of her find.
actually,
Nice.
we should head back. She might be. We've took all the stuff, huh?
I think we should try the other tunnel.
I think we should try the other tunnel.
Come on, Derek. You come with us. Poor lost boy. It's about time you had some women around to tell you what's right. How did we just leave you alone and you just deteriorate your gun and start shooting us?
Oh yeah, because I just do that, you know.
I'm glad you admit it. Don't feel bad. So far, I'm the only person who hasn't had anything tremendously evil happen to them. I know. Complete change, right?
Yeah, might be for the best. What?
Nothing.
You're the one who made the joke.
Right, let's go.
Ladies first.
While rifling through everyone's rooms, Alvin, you will find that a letter has been left outside of Dexter's room.
Well, that is something I would find.
There you go. I know you want all the handouts you can get. Let me just... no,
Well, he is black.
Oh, dear God.
So of course he wants all the handouts he could get.
You remember those books where, like, the first letter on the fucking thing is, like,
huge.
incredibly well arted? Imagine someone that did that for every cat on a... Like, every capital. Dear Dexter...
midnight.
Oh yeah, I can you probably don't know me, but I go by the name Shimmer. I honestly expected it to be a Dr. Diablo. I hope you will forgive the forwardness of this letter. We have not been introduced. After all, I have been and am a fan of yours. Something... It looks like your father's band mainly, of your father's band mainly, but I know of you and have heard you play. You were a bit of an inspiration for me growing up. I wanted to make people jump and move like you. I have an opportunity to meet you, and if you will continue to forgive my forwardness, I wish to exercise that opportunity. I should like to meet. There is a small cafe near the university, a local haunt of musicians and artist types. Perhaps we could talk over dinner. If you see fit, please meet me there around 7-ish. If not, I will not be offended. Shimmer.
Come alone.
And the time currently is for him, like,
I don't know, like 4 or 5-ish.
There's still time if he gets back.
there's still time if they get back.
You could always shout to his mind and tell him there's a letter. Don't know if we'll get through.
We'll eventually get back to the room, and it's just like, Dex, you have an admirer.
You make shit up.
He's probably in the tunnels.
Yep.
What's her name?
Meanwhile,
Frank.
Roxanne and Dex, after hours of walking, following the footprints through the weaving tunnels, giving up any hope of mapping, come to a huge open chamber. A large tunnel, the size of like a railway tunnel, slopes down once, a big circular chamber, roughly flattish ground. But in the middle, a bit goes along and is carved down like a slipway for a boat. Water in that huge tunnelway leads that way. And on the side, what you've been smelling for a few minutes now, piled carcasses of sea creatures. Fish piled up high, flies buzzing around them. An eviscerated corpse of a killer whale. Several people dead.
Old people as well.
Oh, look like they've been hacked up by a motorboat or something. Just piled up on either side, and suspended on huge iron rods above is hanging down medallions and symbols. The eyes. The eyes of Dagon. And others.
Okay, Roxanne keeps her lunch.
Nyarlathotep, Shub-Niggurath, Yog-Sothoth, Steve.
Pretty bitches they are.
God, what have we come across? Let it out.
I really like that soup.
Sorry, love.
Not
the
very
manliest thing.
Just let it out.
Oh!
Oh,
There's nothing left.
who did this?
Jaws.
Crazy motorboat.
I don't think Jaws.
The same motorboat that killed Not Alexander.
Found a nest.
Let's examine those dead
The
people.
water ripples.
Hope, for Jen's sake, Alex isn't among them.
Something moves in the water beneath the murky surface, causing it to ripple.
Cut on that spot. Not even a creature.
You don't hear or see anything else.
Let's check out those bodies.
We have to! Oh!
Just the people. We don't. The animals don't matter. Although
That's worse! Okay, you can examine the bodies. The water ripples. Something goes plap.
that's a 19 on the die for the first. I don't know how many bodies.
You don't
there are.
recognize any of the 19 bodies here, but they were all young. Some of them look like they're dressed in shabby hobo clothing, others are very nice. All male.
I don't think any of these are Jen's boyfriend. Thank God.
We should get her to check out their wingwangs.
What? Dex,
Isn't that how she did it the first time?
There are times for jokes and there's times to take things seriously.
Yeah, and the time when you're about to lose your lunch is the time to lighten the mood.
You already lost all your lunch.
It's called gallows humor, or Carl Anderson humor, I'm not sure which.
I don't understand that reference.
Neither do I.
We're gonna have to report this to the police. We can't exactly haul them out of here, but it's also evidence. We probably shouldn't, but I don't even know how to get back.
Footsteps.
Whirl around with the gun pointed towards where I think the footsteps are.
You see flickering sickly green light coming, bobbing, and you hear footsteps.
Gotta get down, aim the gun, so to give myself an extra
Multiple
potential bonus.
footsteps of many people.
Shit. Hard.
Yes, In through that
I
doorway.
say in my head terms.
Through that doorway, he says, back pointing.
Okay.
And he will run like a scared coward.
I will, no, I'm not going to run. I'm going to try and walk with wide strides and low to the ground so that my feet don't make a lot of noise on the surface.
Are you invoking the name of Stride Wide Man?
Sure, let's just say I am.
Okay, I'm going to half the DC for this check. When you have no gods, you make up your own, and they're not so good. That's why how you end up with Mr. Safeways and Stride Wide Man.
So is it stealth?
Yes.
Or... 922.
Yep. Thanks to the grace and protection of Stride Wide Man, you are able to make that check. And you are able to get over there with a minimum of sound and fuss. However, when you get there, your inner Roxanness takes over, and you immediately start bawling out the national anthem and saluting as imaginary flags ripple in your mind.
I don't want to.
Oh, didn't know.
I just want to kind of hug the edge of the
Instead,
passageway.
what you do is you place your hand over your chest and you yell, "We, the people, ah!"
We the people! Ah! No.
Yes,
You
you are the winner! I am crying tears.
I am not J.K. or Jack Swagger.
Yeah, that's not Jack Hager's gimmick, that's Jack Swagger. They're very different people. Anyway, yeah, you hide in the alcove as you see a shuffling group of policemen walk in.
In my head.
They gather around things. A couple of them bring some corpses of people and fling them onto the pile. And they begin lighting incense and hanging them from the big iron rods overhead and chanting, "Ia, Ia, Cthulhu Vatag, Ia, Ia." They get more insistent, "Ia, Ia, Cthulhu Vatag, Ia, Ia." The water churns. Sticking around?
Is that in the passage we're in, or is it one of the
No,
other
it's
ones?
in the dim slipway that goes into the water.
No, not yet. I
Because
want
there's no water in the passageway you're in, I'm assuming you wouldn't have hid there.
No.
Because that would be fucking thick.
And I'm going to keep watching for now.
One of them's holding up some of those gold things that look like tentacle suns. You notice for the first time, perception check.
That 20.
The desk sergeant with his webbed fingers no one perceived enough to notice. Holding them up. Here, Cthulhu Vertagen. A thing comes out of the water. Can I get a willpower check from you?
My best, Dad.
I am going to roll Dex's support.
Dex, help me.
Anyone want to give me a hero point? Because I'd rather not roll a 20.
I think we're okay with that.
6.
It's not 6. Roxanne teeters on the brink of madness as something so hideously monstrous that it must not exist heaves itself out of the water. Its legs, if you can call them that, appear to be made out of human heads. Wide open mouths splayed, teeth gripping into the ground as though feet. Its torso nothing but a giant sideways opening mouth with 19 rows of teeth. It could be more. You stopped counting. A long tongue that appears to have a joint in it like an elbow, lashing around, coiling around the hulking torso of the killer whale, dragging it towards a mouth that is surely too small, but at the same time it's not. Is it very small or just far away? The two things clash together in your head as dimension and geometry become irrelevant in the face of this horror. And perhaps the worst thing of all, the worst thing you can see, as every single one of its 3 strange, sinuous limbs terminate in a hideous eyeball which is also a mouth, as it begins consuming the offerings laid forth before them, as ecstatic cries rise from the assembled policemen, and one guy who you realize now is not a policeman, but weirdly just a fisherman. A sense of revulsion consumes you.
Fair enough.
Your mind refuses to lock on to the image before you. You're not even really sure if any of the numbers for various parts that I've given you make any sense, because it seems to change on a whim's notice. Size and relativity no longer matter. It is pure madness, and you are forced to look away or go utterly insane. Or you can keep looking and give me your character sheet. Your choice.
I prefer to tear my eyes away.
You tear your eyes away.
And look at Diggs. Make sure he tears his eyes away.
Yeah, I will look at Diggs, because he would be just behind me, I imagine. What's he doing?
He's sitting sort of with his back to you, working a Rubik's Cube.
Needs to shut it out.
Yeah, just say in my head, fair enough.
Leaving?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is this when we press in my head again? Is this when we press the button on that thing they gave us? Is this?
If this is it, what do we need the swords for?
I don't know, but there was a whole thing. It's just like press this and it'll
Well,
be
I'm sure
taken
that'd be
care
great
of.
if either of us had the button.
Shit.
So I'm guessing it's not it.
Plus, I think if there's a question in your head whether it is or isn't it,
Then it's
probably
not.
It's not it.
Push button. And some stealth checks are in order. I will give you a bonus with the aforementioned stride wide man and the chanting that they're all doing and not paying attention to you. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
That's
23.
That's a number that isn't 4. You think you've made it safely away, running eventually down this winding tunnel that weaves like a snake, the floor twisting sideways and sideways. Eventually, it begins to pool with water as it dips a little bit. Ankle-deep water sloshes around you as you make your escape.
To outside, I'm guessing.
No!
Oh.
The air gets musty and cold and close.
I have to keep going.
You see a light ahead, shining in the darkness.
That color.
No, it's white.
I mean, that's not necessarily bad.
You've
Good,
gone
but-
face first into Derek.
Ugh.
You guys have been lost for some time in the warren of tunnels.
Oh,
Not that way.
Jennifer's just like, careful, Derek, you don't want to try and kill another one of your friends, do you?
Who'd you kill?
No one.
try. And to be fair, she stabbed me.
Not that way. Not that way.
So you've seen something too.
Right. So how are we getting out?
I don't want to think about it.
We can talk about it once we're out, please.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
Okay, we won't talk about what you're thinking, but we've got stuff too, but we need to get out of here.
We need to not go that way.
Then we're going this way.
Yes.
An hour later, you eventually find your way back to James Bradford's tomb. And you come out upon the hill.
Turned around.
Jennifer's like, what I really want to know is how we found a third tunnel into here when there wasn't one.
I don't think I want to know the answer to that.
Nothing makes sense in even. Everything is wrong.
Let's go back, collect our... We left the dog, the car, the house.
Come on, guys, up the ladder.
The ground shakes. Things are getting worse. More frequent.
Yes.
I hadn't noticed that.
Well, we have lots of investigating things.
That's good.
Wow, you look whiter than normal.
You look like what I looked like earlier on.
Murderers?
What I think I must have looked like earlier on.
I don't recall too much of that.
I think we need to get back to the hotel.
Let's go back to the hotel and then back to Nevada.
What?
We have to solve the mystery. We have to find Alex. What's your language?
He wasn't
He was
down
bad
there
as
at
hard.
least. Well, unless he was one of the bodies with
He's
the
up on
yellow
it. We found like 19 dead people.
Huh.
And the killer whale and the police cult.
The police are behind it.
And that's actually something that I can make your day. We foiled Claire's searching halfway through. She dropped stuff as well.
Got a hooked in it down there.
Then we need to talk to them.
We should. We need to get hold of them.
Well, let's regroup with the others and make sure everything's okay with them, and then we can do that.
There's Alvin within calling to. Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Elvin. No, it's Claire.
Dude, you need to get back here. You've got a date with Shimmer.
Dex, you
Dex,
just...
Dex.
Apparently she's a fan.
Dex. Shit.
We lost him.
Flash.
Oh god, you did not open your mind to that thing. Slap across the face.
Whoa.